Paella from Valencia. Welcome to Valencia, guys. So I just arrived in Valencia today. This is my first afternoon here. So let me give you a quick roundup of my journey. So my flight was I don't think there's a direct flight from India to Valencia. So I took a flight from Mumbai to Paris. There was a short layover in Paris and then Paris to Valencia. I flew Air France. The service was pretty nice, so it's a great option if you want to book. So I arrived in Valencia. From the airport, I took a metro. The metro dropped me about a 15 minutes walk away from my hostel. So the metro cost me about 5.8 euros. So I think metro is the cheapest option. If you spend on a cab, it's going to cost you much more. So I got off at one point and then I came walking to my hostel. I just checked in and I'm just walking around and it's just like I've literally been here 1 hour and I'm amazed by how beautiful this is. Like everywhere I look, it's like fountains and beautiful buildings. Everything looks like it's from some chapter in history, you know. It's so gorgeous. I cannot wait to see what this beautiful city has in store for me. Well, so Sona and I have come to this beautiful rooftop bar called Mer, right? Yeah. And it's overlooking this amazing square called Plaza de la Verge. And yeah, we have called for a couple of their signature cocktails. This is our first evening here. Do you want to start?
Cheers. Looks good.
We are out on a walking tour of Valencia today. So we are staying at this hostel called the River Hostel, and the hostel offers free walking tours. So yeah, we are out on a walking tour. So we are going to just take an overview of the city and then decide which places we want to go inside and maybe visit again later. So this gorgeous stretch of green that you see behind me is actually the park in Valencia. Now this park is like a landmark, okay, one of the most significant parts of the city, and there's a very interesting story behind it. The park runs across the city and it's shaped like a river, because this park actually used to be a river before. The primary river that runs through Valencia, the river started to flood year after year, and that's why the people took a decision to fill it in and convert it into a park. So it's like this strip of green that runs across the city. You can see people coming here for running, jogging, workouts. There are different kinds of classes that happen here, like yoga, bachata, all of that. There's play areas for kids, there's sports happening, all of that. So it's this little oasis, and it is something that defines the city of Valencia, that the people here think life quality is more important than commercial developments. Well, so this square behind me is called Plaza de la Verge, which means the Virgin Square. This is one of the three most important squares of Valencia. Apart from this, you have Plaza de la Reina and then the Municipality Square, which is the biggest square in Valencia. Now, this square is very important because it houses the most important cathedral in Valencia. So I'm definitely going to try and go inside the cathedral as well. But there's a cathedral, there's a basilica church, and there's of course a bunch of cafes and restaurants to the other side. So this is one of the main places you have to come to when you're starting your exploration of Valencia. This particular fountain is actually dedicated to the irrigation system. So all the 8 statues surrounding the main man in the middle, they represent the 8 tunnels of irrigation in Valencia. So there are certain foods and drinks that you must try when you're in Valencia, and we are here at this horchata stall to try it. So horchata is one of the most popular drinks here in Valencia. You also have a different kind of horchata that you get in Mexico, but this one is totally different. So horchata is a summer drink made using tiger nuts, which are locally grown here. So tiger nuts, sugar and water, that is how they make this drink, which is supposed to be cooling, and they serve it along with a local pastry. You're supposed to dip the pastry in the drink and have it, just like croissant and cappuccino in France. So yeah, we have stopped here to try out traditional pastry called farton. So you dip the farton in the horchata and then everyone, welcome to another very interesting structure in the city of Valencia that you cannot miss when you're here. I'm here at the City of Arts and Sciences. Now this is an entire stretch which looks like, honestly, like an ultra modern, futuristic kind of world, and this whole complex is actually designed by this architect called Santiago Calatrava, who's regarded as the modern day Gaudi. All of the architecture is really super futuristic. There's a main performing arts complex called as Palau de les Arts, where you can find theatre performances and all of that. There's a 3D theatre, there is an astronomical garden, there is this beautiful structure of arches. Now this is known as umbracle, and this was actually meant to sort of create shade for hot summer days, but sadly there was a slight miscalculation in the metal that was used for the construction of this structure. So as you can see, it has not been covered because the trees have sort of rejected this structure, but we hope that they'll be able to find some way around it. But all in all, it's like this whole modern day city sort of a thing which takes you on a completely different tangent if you compare it with the old city of Valencia. So I think it's a nice change of pace if you're hanging out in the city. Hello. So here in Valencia, I'm actually staying in this cute little hostel called River Hostel. There are a bunch of good hostels that you can stay at. Another really good one is called Cantagua. So I sort of compared the two hostels to decide where I wanted to stay. River Hostel was the cheapest for me. I'm paying somewhere around 30 euros per night, which is like one of the cheapest rates you're going to get here. So I booked myself here. The hostel is decent. I wouldn't say it is like the best I've stayed at, but it's decent, doable. All the basics are sorted. You also have a kitchen where you can cook your own breakfast, lunch, whatever you want. So I've sort of been cooking my own breakfast for the last 2 days to save up on the cost of spending a little bit. So yeah, that's about the hostel. The one thing you cannot miss out on when visiting Valencia is visiting the beautiful Valencia Cathedral. This cathedral is one of the most important cathedrals across Europe, and it is one of the most beautiful sights you're going to see. The entrance ticket is 9 euros for foreign tourists, but it's totally worth it. It will take you around an hour to hour and a half to explore the entire cathedral. You get a free audio tour with the ticket. There's also a museum included, and why this cathedral is so popular is because it is said to house the Holy Grail, which is the cup from which Jesus drank at the time of the Last Supper. I'm here at the bell tower, also known as the Micalet. Now this is a part of the Valencia Cathedral. This is actually a bell tower. You can see this massive bell behind me. It is a tower that goes up with a spiral staircase of about 207 steps. The entry ticket is 2.5 euros for foreign tourists, and it gives you a panoramic 360-degree view of Valencia city. So yeah, it's a must visit. You can click some beautiful pictures, get some gorgeous views from the top. So whenever you're visiting the Valencia Cathedral, make sure you climb to the top of the Micalet. So right behind me, you have one of the most iconic structures in Valencia. This is called Mercado Central, which is the central or the main produce market of Valencia. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but Valencia is of course known for Valencia Oranges. And there's a lot of farming that happens all around the city. In fact, Valencia is a supplier for most other cities in Spain for freshly produced farm produce in general. So inside this market, it's essentially like a farmer's market. You will find stalls selling fruits, vegetables, everything coming straight from the farmer to the customer. There's a very interesting fact about this market also. So all the units that are here inside the central market are actually owned by Valencia-based farmers. And it's actually not possible for anybody else to purchase a unit. So the unit can only be handed down to you through generations, or it has to be inherited, not bought. So inside you can of course take a walk around, buy fresh produce. Voila! Finally trying out Valencia orange juice. Very refreshing. These oranges have a slightly different flavor than the oranges we get back in India. Super refreshing drink for a hot summer afternoon. Apart from buying fresh fruits and vegetables, another thing that you must buy is Jamon Iberico. Like you can see these shops behind me, they are all salt cured pork legs. Now Spain is supposed to make the best ham in the world, and all of these legs that you see hanging here, they come from Iberian pigs. Okay, so these are a special type of pigs found in the mountains. They have a black coat, and all of this ham comes from those particular pigs. This ham is cured in salt, and these are preserved or ripened as they call it for about 24 to 30 months, like over 2 years at times. So it's extremely expensive. The cost of one leg can run into hundreds, 200s of euros, and it's actually customary here during festivals like Christmas that people gift each other a leg of cured ham. So while here, I'm definitely going to try these out. You should too. It's amazing. It's so flavorful. When you talk about food in Spain, the one dish that I know all of you have heard of is paella. This is the first time ever that I'm trying out paella in Spain, and the best part is that I did not know this before I landed up in Spain, but Valencia is actually the birthplace of paella. So here you get the Valencia special paella, which is made with rabbit, chicken and snails. But today actually I've called for the seafood paella, which has shrimps and clam and I think a little bit of fish. So yeah, paella is sort of this like burnt rice made on this hot pan and served with meat. Valencia is supposed to make the best paella in Spain, so let's taste and see if it is that good. Oh, delicious. We're going to the beach. My last evening in Valencia with a glass of Aqua de Valencia. Now this is a very special cocktail that you must try when you're in Valencia. Aqua de Valencia means Valencia water of Valencia. So this is a cocktail that has vodka, gin, cava, which is a Spanish sparkling wine, and orange juice, and this is like a specialty that you must try. So I really hope you enjoyed exploring Valencia with me, and before you go, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and do come back for the next episodes.